finally happened. I finally broke down and decided to watch the last season of Gotham.
I had a vision that out of this crucible of blood and fire will rise the dark night that your city needs.
When the ones you love die, it's like a part of yourself is cut off forever.
Because of what we did. Nissa and Bane are coming after me and Barbara.
Now, a little while ago, guys, you might have remembered I made this little video called 5 Reasons Why I Will Never Watch Gotham, and, you know, I was following that along pretty good. Unfortunately, my curiosity did get the better of me, and what we have now is this video. And, guys, before you go ahead, if you are a fan of Gotham and for some reason haven't seen the 5th season, which is also the final season, then don't proceed with this video. But if not, let's tag along here. So to paint a picture, if you want to know my thoughts on Gotham, what the show was, and how I really reacted to it initially, go back to my other video, 5 Reasons Why I Will Never Watch Gotham. And guys, just to give you a basic rundown, I did not like the direction Gotham took. If anything, it was a parody of the Batman universe, taking bits and pieces of every little bit of the lore and every bit of live action and cinematic Batman, and throwing it into a show that had no Batman. The show is supposed to center around James Gordon, played by Ben McKenzie, and a young Bruce Wayne, played by David Mazouz. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's a lot of crime drama. There's this, there's that. And then they decided to shoehorn in all of the supervillains, which, again, one of the arguments I had is, how can you have the supervillains without Batman? This season was everything I hated about the other episodes, and I just can't believe I made it through every episode of this season. Well, I kinda can, because I didn't really pay attention to some of these episodes, and I have to be honest, I did fall asleep during some of them. Although, this show did have some strong points that I did not see coming. When you tear away some of the useless, ridiculous characters such as Fish Mooney, and some of the other instances that are a little too over the top, even though the show is pretty much over the top, it actually had some things that I really enjoyed. Going back to what I said about this show being a parody of Batman, sometimes that worked in its favor. Just look at the Penguin. It's like he's doing a mismatch of all different villain versions of the Penguin going back to the Adam West Batman, and he's putting his own spin on it. Initially, I didn't think that that was a good pick, but as I was watching the show, it made more and more sense in the context of what they did with the story. The Riddler, the gentleman who's playing the Riddler, is doing a spot-on Frank Gorshin / amalgamation of Jim Carrey, and that works well for the character. And, on top of that, Jeremiah Valeska, the Joker, which they never called him the Joker. Pretty good. Pretty good. Best episode, one of the best episodes of the season, was where he takes Bruce and tries to recreate the murder of his parents, and does the whole Zorro thing and everything. I'll give kudos to this show. They actually had Zorro be the film that him and his parents were leaving and everything, and actually Jeremiah integrated himself into the film. And going back, I actually really enjoyed Ben McKenzie as Jim Gordon. He was pretty decent, and in case you didn't know, he was actually the voice of Batman in the Batman Year One animated film. To add to that, they had some terribly done, well, not terribly done, but some really wacky versions of characters here, like Bane, for instance, or Eduardo, being an ex-army buddy of Jim Gordon and everything. Who didn't see him coming? And everyone saw Nissa Al Ghul coming into the show. But overall, how did they do? On this season, I can say that they did alright. The Barbara being pregnant thing was kind of hokey and stupid. They had some very imaginative dream sequences. They actually did some pretty good violence and actually threw some curveballs your way. But overall, yeah, Gotham was pretty much what I expected. Oh, you wanted me to talk about the Batman suit?
Know you're here. Show yourself.
I'm not your enemy.
So we don't get a Batman until the last episode, and the last episode takes place 10 years after Bruce has actually left Gotham after this whole debacle where it was no man's land and all the bridges were blown up, which again is a recycled plot device from other Batman iterations, but I'm not going to say anything. in the whole entire episode, you get flashes of this dark figure that's taking down the Riddler, that's going around and helping and kind of beating up villains, helping out with Jim Gordon and stuff, and meeting the older version of Selina. But we did end up finally getting a glimpse of the suit at the very last part of the episode in a slow zoom shot where, honestly, guys, I have to say, looked like he was wearing hockey pads. This costume really wasn't that good. I mean, there's no wonder that you didn't see the freaking guy until the end of the episode because the costume sucked. But anyway, guys, now that Gotham's over, I'm just so glad that I don't have to suffer people asking me if I watched the damn show. I couldn't tell you how many people asked me if I liked the show or watched the show, and how many times I was just like, heh, no. And guys, just as a little tidbit, I'm hating on the show, but honestly, it had a very good run, 5 seasons, a lot of fans. I just was never into the show because it didn't do a faithful adaptation for me personally. But you gotta have a wow factor, guys. And if this show was gonna be straight crime dramas in the entire show without any supervillain connection, no matter how blunt or over the top they were, looking at you, Zaz, you wouldn't have had a successful run like this show did. And I can kind of get why they incorporated the different people. Ra's al Ghul, which for the love of God, they still say Raz. The freaking creator of the character says Ra's al Ghul. Say the damn name right, for God's sake. And all the other ones. And honestly, guys, even though I was never really a fan, mad respect to them. And they've definitely carved out a certain way of superhero TV shows that was kind of able to flip it on its head and give the genre a little bit different of a taste. Now, at the end of this episode, they did something that was even more outrageous. They're going to have an Alfred show, which they showed the preview of, which I'm even less interested of. And God willing, I will actually follow through on my word and not watch a single episode. But anyway, guys, Season 5 of Gotham, it wasn't too bad. Again, I expected it to be silly, cheesy, over the top, and all those things that I described in the last video that I made. But it actually did surprise me in some moments, and they did very well on certain aspects for the show and making me take the bait and actually fooling me in certain instances. And in the last episode, if the show was more like that tone and they continued it, I don't think that I would have had a problem with it. So, who knows? Maybe if they see this video or if they get enough feedback, they might one day actually do a Batman TV show that kind of follows this suit in this storyline. But until then, guys, we'll just have to keep waiting. Anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today. If you have not, please subscribe and drop a like if you like this video. Or if you don't, drop a thumbs down. I don't care either way. And guys, please let me know how you feel down in the comment section. Were you a huge fan of Gotham? Were you like me, that's really kind of an apprehensive feeling? Anyway, guys, let me know. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. But anyway, guys, as always, I'm Jay, and until next time, take care. Bye.